Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Crypto Chase. I'm in a great mood today because I just recorded this video 30 minutes long and it turned out the source was wrong, so the screen was black, the whole entire video. So now I'm going to make the video again. To be honest, I haven't had to do this in a very long time, so I'll be interested to see how it comes out. My thoughts may be slightly abbreviated, maybe a little bit more scattered, because I want to make sure I felt like I had a lot of good alpha in the video, and I want to make sure I get that through again. So, moving forward, today we're going to talk about Bitcoin, we're going to talk about Ethereum, we're going to talk about ES or S&P 500. Let's get right into it. So, as always, there's always a lot of newcomers coming to the videos, beginners and whatnot. So, as I always start, we're going to start in the high time frame and we're going to look at context. The title of this video is, Was That the Top? Was that the top? So no clickbait here. In my opinion, that's not the top just yet. I think we still have a little ways to go. I'll explain why. Okay, let's get right into it. So what I think, I think this is our major leg down. A lot of people were saying this is a new bull market. And I was just thinking, okay, it's a bear market rally. When you have a strong bear market rally, typically you sell into, the 0.5 or the 618. And you may be asking, why do you think that, Chase? Well, I've seen it before multiple times, and we can use just S&P 500 right now. From the top of the bull market to the bottom here, the bear market rally has gone up into the 0.5. When they first started talking about the S&P entering a bear market during the COVID drop, look at where the rally was to. The rally went right up into the 0.5 to the 618. Okay, so I've seen this in many places over the years. Bear market rallies typically get into the equilibrium, the 0.5, or they get towards the 618. I have that marked out here in the red box on Bitcoin. I also have it marked out here on the red box on Ethereum. Some other high context stuff to talk about. We're going to delete that because we see red box is our 0.5 to 618. Okay, some other high context stuff to talk about. And then, we're going to get into trades and everything. Just, give me a minute. Let's keep laying out the context here. So what I see here is I see that we had about 280 days, and I already know that because I already did it, about 280 days of consolidation before a breakout here. Okay, so 280 days of consolidation, a strong sweep of liquidity, swept liquidity here, swept liquidity here, and then look at this candle. I mean, that's a candle right there. Okay, that is a strong candle with strong acceptance. No major retracement, strong acceptance. So what I'm thinking strong consolidation, strong sweep of liquidity, strong candle, closes up, fully accepted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, partially 5 weeks of consolidation and potential reaccumulation here. We push up. This is trapping late longs. Got to punish those late longs. Got to punish them. We're getting too close to resistance to be longing when we're up here. Okay, that's not what you want to be doing. I see a lot of people talking about that to say, oh, well, I got to get long. If it's going higher, I got to get long. But guys, you gotta think, like, if you're getting close to resistance here, your risk reward just continues to lower and lower and lower. We long at support, we short at resistance. Okay, moving forward. Again, big consolidation, sweep, big leg, possible reaccumulation here, coming back down into what I believe is the demand level. And also what I think is not only about the bear market rally, right? Not only about being able to sell the equilibrium to the 618 typically in bear market rallies, but look at this liquidity. How are we going to consolidate for this long, have such a major sweep, and then not even sweep the other side? We got to sweep this liquidity, right? I mean, that's my thought process, is that we're going to sweep this liquidity in due time. Excuse me, I just ate. Okay, so I think we sweep this liquidity in due time. That's my thoughts. Confluent with the EQ, confluent with the 618, confluent with buyers here turning into sellers. We'll talk about this area more later and how we can look to play it, deviation, market structure break. Okay, we've talked about this stuff, market structure, a higher low, a high, or a higher high, a higher low, a higher high. market structure break, or MSB, comes when the previous high's low is broken. Okay, previous high's low. Because what could happen otherwise? What can happen otherwise is something like this. You have these highs, right? You make a low, and sometimes people think, oh, that's a market structure break right there. But it's not. Well, at least it's not to me. Some people define it like that. But if the previous high's low is still intact, this can just be the low of this leg. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Okay? And it works the same the other way. Going, and we'll start working on this trade now and start talking about this trade, and I'll show you market structure into it. So what I think here, and we look at this first when we're looking at the market and we're talking about this, and again, I'm sort of, retracing my steps from the last video a little bit. Oftentimes when you're zoomed out and you're looking at the chart and you're thinking, okay, where do I want to long? Where do I want to short? You want to think, how is everybody viewing this market, and how is everybody going to be exploited to a degree or be put off sides? And the way I saw it was this. I said, okay, people are going to long this support and resistance flip. I actually took a little scalp off of here, but the reason I didn't hold it for up here was because contextually, this was a low time frame move to me, even though this is somewhat of a high time frame level, but there's no meat here, right? There's no price action here. It's just a quick move. That's it. If you're looking for the meat, if you're looking for where the real accumulation took place, in my opinion, it's in here. This is my level. I think this is the true demand level here. You had people long this, now they're underwater. People longing this, look, they're underwater. And now, even if we go down to a lower time frame here, just look at all this demand in here. All this is inefficient. Inefficient demand. Okay? People often ask me, how do I identify my levels? Things of that nature. It's not, and they ask me too, how I identify liquidity. There's not a science to it, guys. It's just using your eyes, getting accustomed and experienced on the charts, and you'll just start to see it. I think this is your demand, and I think you had nearly, more than almost like 2 weeks of accumulation potentially in here. So I think all these people are underwater. They're underwater, and that's the way in my opinion, that's probably how your retail participants see this, and I'm retail too. But my point is your lesser experienced players are going to think, oh, this is the SR flip. We're going to 30K now. And while it gave you a decent bounce, it was never going to 30K because this is not a high time frame move. If you have a high time frame target, you got to play from a high time frame support. Okay? Now, how do I play this level? I'm getting into the trade aspect of this. How do I play this level? Here's how I'm playing it. I'm doing 50% of my position size in here. Just bids, okay? 50%. Stop should be safe somewhere. I don't think that all these lows should be taken out just yet. So my stops are right around down here. I don't think these lows are taken out just yet. I don't think I'm being baited into liquidity. It's always possible, but I don't think so. Because the reason I don't think so is because I don't think we're meant to retest this just yet. And if we get down below here, I mean, there's only a $1,000 difference or so between these lows and retesting this. So I mean, maybe it's possible that you sweep this liquidity and you front run this, but that's not really in my plan at the moment. And I also think that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of consolidation in here. I feel like that has to stand for something. I like this area. I talked about this area last week while price was still up here. I had drawn something along this nature into here and moving back up. Okay, so I'm sticking with my plan. That was my thought process. This is high time frame support in my opinion. As I said, let me take a sip of water. Everyone take a sip. Let's get hydrated on a day like today. All right. How do I want to see price interact at the level? There's a couple ways. Optimally, in an optimal world, what I'd like to see some consolidation in here, make people think the bottom's in, or local bottom, whatever you want to say, of this move. Some consolidation, right? Let's build up some equal lows. You have a low here. you have a low here, you have a low here, all equal lows. Sweep them all. That's where the real move begins. Okay, that's one scenario I am perfectly happy with. Here's another scenario I'm happy with. If we just plow through the level, I'm not necessarily scared. Stops are down here. That's fine. What I'd want to see is I don't want to see acceptance. I don't want to see a big daily close down here. That's not good in my opinion. And that's when I may even look to, cut for half a loss or whatever you want to say. What I want to see is if we break down through the level to take out these stop losses, because I do believe that's a possibility. I want to see tight consolidation in here, okay? When you see tight consolidation in here, that's typically sign of a deviation. Short baiting, we're baiting people into shorting, thinking that it's a breakdown, but in reality, we're going to use them to squeeze back up, just like that, okay? So that's a deviation play of the level. This stuff happens, guys. You will never be perfect on every single trade with your entry or your exit. You have to be adaptive, and trading is very nuanced. A lot of people want me to make some type of educational series where I just lay everything out super cleanly. Guys, it's very contextually based from high time frames to low time frames. It's very nuanced depending on what the price action is giving us. If we build up a bunch of lows here, and let me even show you even better. So let's say we put in a low here and we bounce a little bit, and then we put in another low here like that, and then we put in another low here like that, another low. Just giving you guys an example. What are we doing here? We're building up stop losses. If the lows look like this, you already swept the low, okay? But if you build up your stops like this, well, now you're thinking, okay, that retracement, boom, we wipe out all those stops. That's where we're buying, and we go for the rest. And if I see something form like this, maybe I consider just putting in my other 50% of my order here. Otherwise, the other play for me is potential market structure break. So I drew it for you in the bullish way. Let's draw it for you in the bearish way. Bearish price action coming into support, right? So let's say we're coming down into support. We have a low, we have a lower high, we have a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then we have this. We come down, higher low. We don't know yet though. And then we break above. But where do we need to break above? It's not here. It's the previous low's high, okay? The previous low's high, because what could happen here is you could just double top, make a new low, okay? But what you want to see is when you see this, that's your break in market structure right there. That's when you look for retracement into whatever sent you upwards, okay? Whatever sent you and gave you that market structure break, or you could even play the market structure break level itself. Again, this is a bit contextually based. How strong does the market look, etc., etc. I'll go over to ES real quick just to give you guys an example that you can look at right now. Go over to the 4 hour, and we're quickly going to do ES, but we're not really focused on it today. ES, I see this 4 hour down here. 4 hour starts this up move. I think we're eventually coming down to here. A lot of liquidity built up, but I'm not ready to short just yet. Look at this. High, low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And this could also be a higher low. We have not taken out this low yet. Okay, that low is still intact. Imagine price comes up from here. Whoops. Imagine price comes up from here. Now you just have a higher high, and this was just your higher low rather than this spot. This is your higher low, okay? So if this breaks market structure, if this does this and comes down and breaks down through this market structure, we look and we see what sent us downwards. Might be something in here. What sent us downwards on a higher time frame, we play it back down towards here. We're looking for, a 4 hour, a daily, something of that nature, because this is a lot of action in here, right? That's a month's worth of price action. So we're going to be looking for a higher time frame level. Outside of that, if we continue to make higher highs and higher lows, looking for a sweep of this, you can always play liquidity sweeps. We've drawn these millions of times. You can play market structure break in that direction. Boom, previous highs, low, back up. Sometimes it goes a little bit higher into whatever sent it downwards. Simple as that, okay? That's ES in a nutshell. Sip of water. Excuse me. Okay, talked about Bitcoin. Oh yeah, but so Bitcoin, what, I like to, let's just wrap this up on Bitcoin, then we'll talk about ETH real quick. When it comes to Bitcoin trades, I like for my trades to be, like I said, especially if they're swing trades, which is something I've been working on and trying to get more patient with swings. For me, lower time frame action, I prefer ES. I think it's cleaner on the lower time frames, but we know crypto swings can be very good there. They can be some big moves, but you got to watch out in between, right? There's a nice swing there, but you get chopped up in there. Swing, swing, chop, swing, swing, chop, swing, swing, chop, chop, swing. Okay, that's how I'm seeing this right now. So you got to watch out for the chop. You got to have patience when you're looking at Bitcoin and crypto swing trades overall. Like I said, wouldn't be surprised if this level gets chopped up a bit, a little sweep. That's okay. Again, that is fine. And then we find you have like a little 3-tap here, right? So support, deviation, support. We've seen that on many times. It's a popular pattern. Support, deviation, support. I drew it on ES last weekend. Also, I showed you, or last week, I showed you an ES trade I had that was an SR flip. There was some resistance or something. We pushed up above it. We came up, support, deviation below, support, and then there was your long stop below there. Okay, that's a simple trade setup for you. So yeah, I'm okay with that. Like I said, I'm okay with a nuke through the level as long as the consolidation in here is tight. Yeah, sorry, I was getting a notification. So I'm not sure where I was, but yeah, like I said, this is fine with me. Tight consolidation below, back up above. Chopping in here is fine with me. Eventual sweep is fine with me. All that's good. Okay. What else? Okay. What makes me bearish? Like I said, I like to take trades that I think have significance to the market, especially when it comes to crypto. I think this level is significant. I think we see accumulation in here before this move up. I think this was trapping late longs. We're punishing them now. Could be some stops below here, like I said. Not the end of the world if those get ran. That's fine for me. That's why I'm loading up 50% of the position here. Because when it comes to high time frame moves, high time frame levels can be deviated, and that's perfectly fine. A lot of the people panic when they see that. They panic close rate in here, and then they're a part of the squeeze if what's happening is really that we're getting below here and they're market selling their longs out of panic, and you have a big player with their limit bids here getting filled because the big player does not want to use market orders because then he has to pay lots of fees and pushes the market up, etc., etc. We're seeing good confluence here. Support, support, support. A lot of resistance, comes back down. I mean, why not, right? Why not a bounce right away off of this level? I feel like it's clean. That's my thoughts on it. If we do come down into here, I guess it's a long, right? You have to look at this and say, okay, this is your demand level here, this entire area. If we come into here, this is fine for bulls. If we're below here, I really don't think that's good. I honestly don't even feel like this should be tested right away. This was, such a 300-day consolidation, and we're going to be testing it within a month's time. I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good for the market if we're to continue an uptrend here into this liquidity, which, like I said, I think we should. Big 300-day consolidation, huge sweep. Look at this leg, reaccumulation, trap late longs, push the late longs out of the market, chop them up, send it up, send it down. This is where the real test of the market occurs, and we're going to find out whether we are still going to have bullishness or if we're going into more of an extended bear recession, whatever you want to say. Okay, I'm like panicked. I got to keep checking if the video is recording. Okay, that covers Bitcoin in a nutshell. We're looking over to ETH now. ETH consolidation, sweep. 4 weeks of consolidation on the weekly, moves up, takes out this liquidity, punishes late longers. This consolidation in here, this is your high time frame consolidation, high time frame demand. Looking for market structure break into this weekly demand level here, also confluent with the monthly open. Not a level, not something I talk about often, monthly open, weekly open, but there was good confluence here. I'll actually show you how I got it. I use this little trick. When I'm looking for a level, people always ask me, how do you find your levels? How do you find your levels? One trick I use is this. I get it so the chart looks like this. These sort of, what are they called? Bars. I get it to look like bars even though they're not bars. But if you scroll enough, they look like bars. And then I look and I say, okay, well, where's the support here? Well, this is inefficient, still mostly inefficient. Okay, we're getting there. And now I feel like there's some good meat in here, right? Like there was a lot of action in here, a lot of resistance, flips to support, moves up. I like this level right here. And then I went to the monthly just to see what type of confluence there was. And I was like, oh, look, right there, monthly open. Okay, so that's how I grabbed that level. And that's a trick that I use to find quality support and resistance levels. It's just by zooming out and finding where, the meat of the move is essentially where the move truly began from. We go back to Bitcoin, we look at the 4-hour. Where did this move truly begin from? In my opinion, consolidation. Look, if we, go old school and draw our little trend lines here, we go old school, tight, and boom, and that's where it begins from. It began from in here. Okay, back to ETH. So I think ETH gets into the 1800s at some point. It's stronger than I expected, to be honest, right now. I'm not sure, obviously it's just bouncing off of this, but I think maybe in due time take out this low. There are these 1760 lows, but that is lower time frame somewhat. I'm not sure if it's it's obviously a draw later on. It'll be a target for a short later on, but I don't know if it's necessarily where the long gets to. I don't necessarily know if the market is truly concerned about those lows at the moment. I think monthly openish, weekly consolidation, anywhere in here can be a potential decent long. And again, it's just clean confluence over here. Support, deviation, support, breaks down through. Weekly resistance, or weekly support, flip to resistance, equilibrium 618. Get into here, chop, consolidate, get everyone calling for a new lows, whatever you want to say, send it up to here. They all get stopped out who are shorting this, and then we send it downwards, okay? Or we retest, this area in here, and that's where the market truly makes its decision, whether we're going to be continuing to leg a little bit or consolidate in here, or if things are going to get ugly. Okay. I think that's good. I want to get this out before all this stuff happens. I always try to get the content out before the price action happens. That's the plan. If you could just stay for this last 30 seconds, I really appreciate you. As always, shout out to Prime for sponsoring these videos. Shout out to Bybit for sponsoring these videos. My links are in the description, also at the bottom of this video. If you're able to sign up, deposit, trade on there, it's very helpful to me. I thank you very much for it. Hopefully, you're supporting creators. As I say, you don't have to support me, but please try to support creators that actually give you actionable setups and are actually trying to help you along with your education. It's a bit generic, but at the end of the day, the funny thing about these videos and stuff is that it's a lot of extra stress, because the last thing I care about, if this gets stopped out, the last thing I care about is really my own money. I'm always concerned with, more or less who I'm influencing. And stop out would be like down here, by the way. But I'm always concerned with who I'm influencing, and if people understand proper risk management. And I try to cover this stuff every single time. If you have a $100,000 portfolio, you should only be risking $1,000 at most per trade. If this trade gets stopped out, I don't lose anything more than 1% of my portfolio. That is how I play it, because I know that on the long term, I've done well. I'm confident in myself in the long term. You guys have known my story. Started with a $2,500 loan, and I've been fine for many years. And trust me, I didn't have a big Twitter account until like last year or 2 years ago. So it's not just that. I've been confident in my trading for years and happy with that. But it's a longer term play. And you guys see big wins or not big wins, but big win streaks. And every now and then there's going to be a losing streak too. But like last month was a big win streak, and I just want to always just know just to manage your risk, because some of that stuff. Like I said, the last thought is when if anything stops out, I'm not even thinking about my own funds or anything, because I'm not worried about that. Like I said, I'm confident long term. But people like to markets are crazy, and they're very nuanced, and emotions are a crazy thing too. And it's something I really try to not. You guys know me, not personally, but you should know me as a very disciplined person. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I exercise, eat very healthy, or at least as much as I can. Literally haven't had soda or pizza or anything like that in probably 10 years, something of that nature. It's a game of discipline, and it's a game of extreme context, breaking down from high time frames to lower time frames, and understanding when to apply certain techniques and when not to apply certain techniques. If this was a very short consolidation, pretend it was a very short consolidation, this long would have actually probably kept the market going. But since this was a very long consolidation, and we have already been extending for a while, and we were close to resistance, I knew that this would not hold. I can't prove it to you, but I've been talking to a friend over the past couple days, and I told him, do not long, too close to resistance. And hey, now we see this. And actually, you may have saw me tweet on Eth. I was talking about a short. I said, I'm looking for my first short. I actually deleted it because I've been very busy over the past couple days, and I couldn't tell if it was fully thought out and if price was actually going to go a little bit higher. And again, I didn't want someone just shorting this high and without giving my full thoughts. So I wanted to do a video beforehand. Nonetheless, I guess that's it, right? You guys know I tend to ramble on if I really want to. I guess this turned out pretty good. The first video was blank. Hopefully this one turned out pretty good. I thank you all for listening and being here. Likes and retweets on the tweets are always appreciated. Comments below. Everything is great. And thank you, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.